Okay, everyone. So today we are going to continue the conversation about harmony. Some new details have come out. So we're going to touch on a few of those and really look into this story and what everyone's saying and talk about what we really think is going on in this situation. So we are going to look at some text messages from Bio.MOM. We are going to see what the adoptive parents of Jameson says about this whole entire situation. And yesterday we did not get to see the part where mom was giving her opinion on things and why she feels that Harmony is still alive. So, yes, let's see. Hey, love, how are you? Hello. I need to finish getting my ice and everything. I didn't want to be late on here. Hello, Queen's Throne. How are you in the building? Yeah, we got to talk, boo. That'll be later because anyway. So I'm going to pop up a few things on the screen. First is going to be the text message that was sent to um, dang, why can't I think of his name? Brian, from Crystal. And like I had that question, why wasn't the mom looking for Harmony? What she says is something different than the adoptive parents. So we're going to have to check that out. Let's see, share screen real quick. So this is what Crystal sent to Brian. I don't know why I said his name was Blair. Let me come back to you guys. Let me pop it up here. There we go. So this is the text message. I don't know if you guys can read that clearly, but let me go to it on my screen because y'all know I can't see. Okay, she says, as a mother who has confronted addiction, I realize I have failed Harmony in the past, but the safety nets in place were supposed to protect Harmony during my battle, including DCYF and law enforcement. Failed my little girl. Battling addiction is common in this country. Doesn't make it, right, but okay. Recovery is less common. That's true. But I took the necessary steps to do that. I don't know if that part is true, if she voluntarily gave up Harmony or, DCYF looked into it and was like, that wasn't a good placement. But where they put her afterwards wasn't either. Once I did recover, I kicked and screamed against the legal challenges to find out where Harmony was. Now, this is the part that kind of conflicts with what the adoptive parents say. We'll get to that. And if she was safe. Both DCYF and the police failed to answer me during those periods. Today, they wish to minimize that I've been honest about my past. Are they? So, hey. And over here says, Harmony Montgomery's mother, Crystal, sent me this statement. She says she's kicked and screamed trying to find out where Harmony was, but Manchester police and DCYF failed to answer me during those periods. She says, I've been honest about my past. Are they? But now let's look at what he said before this. He says before that, let me pop that up real quick. He says, let's share the screen, pop up, Chrome. He says that, where is it at? Where's his statement I had on here? Oop, I think it was right here. Okay, so this line down here, let me pop it up for you guys. Which one is it? It's this one. This one. So let me come back over to you guys. Right here. Where's it at? Okay, so right here, he says that they, pushed her into looking for Harmony because when they adopted Jameson. So it says on November 19th, 2019, they adopted Jameson in an open adoption and have maintained a relationship with Crystal. In fact, Blair, see, it says Blair, and then on the thing it says Brian. I'm so confused. Blair says that Jameson recent struggles to pass the absence of his sister that led to Miller's encouragement. His last name is Miller. He encouraged Crystal to search for Harmony. So I'm confused. So this whole time, in what way was she searching for Harmony if he says he encouraged her to look for Harmony? For 2 years, you didn't know where your daughter was? That part confuses me. So I want to play. What is that? I'm going to play what she says because I didn't get to this part yesterday. So I'm going to play her part of this. Hello, hello. How are you? Hey, Miranda. Thanks for coming through. Hello, how are you? So I'm going to play also what she says. And no, you know what I'm going to play? I'm going to play the update. Because if I play the update for you guys, just see what they're saying. I'm really curious to know if, here we go. So the Bio.MOM is on the right side. That's Crystal. That's who we're talking about. Harmony, obviously, in the middle. Stepmom, we're really not talking about her today, but she is in jail for multiple different things, dealing with Harmony, using Harmony as, a way to get money, and lying about where she was this whole entire time. So I'm going to hit this before I put up the video. And, this is us just going over it of what they said. And just to let you guys know, yesterday we seen that it went from 94K to 100K. Then in the live yesterday, it went up to 104K. And then from there, today it goes up to 112K. To get evidence, to get any information, evidence, whatever, for Harmony, her whereabouts, all of that good stuff. So let me go ahead and pop this up here really quickly for you guys. And I want you guys to take a listen to what they're saying now. So let me go ahead and play that.
Are furious over the state's handling of the Harmony Montgomery case. She's the little girl who was missing for 2 years before anyone reported it. As WBZ's Christina Hager shows us, they're now looking for answers as investigators try to find the little girl.
This billboard is up along Interstate 93 in Methuen. Harmony Montgomery, the missing 7-year-old who somehow slipped off the radar when she was just 5.
And I, more than anybody, want to see reforms where reforms are needed, but you can't help somebody you can't find.
New Hampshire State Representative Mark Pearson chairs the joint committee that
I was muted. I'm like, yes. Miranda says, yeah, the mom still seems like something isn't right with her unless she changes my mind. And yeah, right now, I mean, I don't feel like she did anything to Harmony, but I do feel like she lacked, what a mother should do when they said they've been clean this whole time, but 2 years go by and you don't know where your daughter is. And from what the adoptive parents say, they pushed it. So yeah, that confuses me a lot. All right, Queen. Let's see. Let's finish that up. I wanted to know if you guys were hearing an echo with that, but if not, then I'll just continue. So here we go.
That oversees the Department of Health and Human Services, set to meet with DCYF.
We're going to ask the question you asked. Could we have done something different?
New Hampshire Governor Chris Sununu stands by the agency.
And as soon as we found out that this child may not have been showing up for school for quite some time, it was reported up to us. The team got right on it. There wasn't a delay. It didn't sit in a file on somebody's desk.
But at a vigil last week, the child's birth mother, who did not have custody of her, said relatives contacted authorities with concerns through the years and didn't get a response. Harmony's father and stepmother behind bars now on charges not directly related to her disappearance.
We cannot make children be, kind of the tally marks of our failures by not righting this ship.
Children's advocate Anna Kerrigan points to funding. Is there money in the budget to hire more staff?
We have positions that are already funded. The hard thing is not right now raising more money, it's finding people.
Representative Pearson says the pandemic has taken a hit on staffing levels among social workers. Kerrigan says better pay might solve that.
And we underfund and underpay them and then wonder why, we don't have, the safety of children guaranteed, and that we're talking today about a little girl that's been missing for 2 years.
Today, the reward went up to $112,000 for information leading to Harmony. In Methuen, Christina Hager, WBZ News.
So sad. Hampshire
So you
lawmakers
guys hear that, right? And my only thing about this is what makes one, I'm not even going to go there. Now I do want you guys to listen to, it's really short, what the mom said, because they brought it up in the vigil. The mom said this and the mom said that. So I do want to bring up that as well. Hey, Jeanette, how are you? Yes, thank you. Thank you for that, Miranda. I do want to bring up what the mom says at the vigil. Because at first I was like so on her side, like, yeah, he probably was playing games. He wasn't letting her see her. And that's kind of where I was with it. But thinking about it, 2 whole years, I don't know if it would take 2 years for me to go and find where my child is. And since she's in the system, I would think that it would be a little more easier to find out where she was. Because if the school did not even, ring the bell, ring the alarm, why not? Why didn't they? And in here, we will be looking at what they say about DCYF as well. There we go. Pulled it up. So that we can see their point of view as well. Because I don't understand it from any angle. 2 years. No, not 2 years. Were they not checking up on her at all? Or is it because it was her biological father that took her? They didn't have to check up on her as much. I don't know, but we will just have to follow the story. So here's what she said at the visual. Let me make sure you guys got it over there. So here you go. Copyright disclaimer, of course.
Mother, along with her family, gathered here at this park in Manchester tonight. Everyone coming together, vowing to bring Harmony home. Crystal Sorey holds hands with her family as they gather for a vigil and pray for the safe return of her daughter, Harmony Montgomery. The 7-year-old girl has not been seen since October of 2019. Crystal last saw Harmony in April of that year.
Last time I saw her was Easter. I had a FaceTime with her. I showed her her basket. I said, next time I see you, you're going to have this basket I got you.
But Crystal says after that call, Harmony's father and legal custodian, Adam Montgomery, cut all ties with her and her family.
Everyone, his family, me, like even my sister reached out, others, nothing.
Worried about her daughter, Crystal says for months she called DCYF, law enforcement, anyone who could help her track down Harmony.
Anybody I could, I reached out to all my family, listen, we need to come forward, something's happening.
But it wasn't until 2 years later, New Year's Eve 2021, when Manchester police announced a missing persons investigation for...
Now, do you guys believe that for 2 years she's been trying? Because, I mean, if she was with this man, I'm sure she knew his family members as well, right? Kevin has been trying to get Harmony from, not get her from him, but send them to check into what's going on with Harmony. How come she has a black eye? And just to tell them the statements that he said, they should have been looking into this. And if he just brought it up 2 weeks ago, then I'm kind of looking at that like, well, why didn't you tell them when it first happened? Why not? So I'm going to also drop the link so you guys can pop up here and tell me what you guys think about this. Because I don't know if I feel like the mom could have done more. I do feel like she could have. But as you guys seen in the beginning, she says that they were making it very difficult and they don't want to look at that as well. So let's just continue.
For Harmony, after officials say they became aware of her disappearance just days earlier. Since then, police have set up a hotline, established a $94,000 reward for information, and conducted numerous searches for Harmony. On Saturday, investigators were at her last known address, a home on Guilford Street. And as they continue to follow leads, Crystal says she has made it her mission to bring Harmony home. Never giving up.
No, never. We're coming. We're going to bring her home. We're never going to stop.
And now if you have any information on the whereabouts of Harmony Montgomery, you can contact the Manchester Police Department at 603-203-6060. Reporting in Manchester, I'm Tim Callery, WMUR News Now.
So yeah, that's, I don't understand why from DCYF's point of view. And I said I don't. I do see why, it could have not been high on their radar if Kevin did not say it then, but I believe he said he was trying. And that's why the police got sent over there. And they seen her with a black eye. I don't feel like they even questioned that boy about why her eye was black. I know they're like, oh, well, he could have just told her, she was playing with the other kids, something hit her in her eye. But no, how he describes that black eye, there's no way that, a toy or something like that could have done that much damage. So, I don't know. I'm just at the point where I'm kind of taking this story one day at a time, one step at a time. I believe they said all the digging they were doing, nothing has shown up. When we looked at some other information the other day and we were seeing what I don't know if she's a landlord or just, the owner of the house that they were living in prior, she said, I never seen a little girl over there. She's only seen the 2 boys that Adam had with Kayla, his estranged wife, and then they had a daughter. But a 4-year-old, 5-year-old, no. She said, I've never seen that there at all. So I'm like, how far back did she go missing? It couldn't have been anytime recent. It has to be around that time when Kevin was, talking about area. The police went over there, whatever, and they seen her there. That's the last time anyone has seen her. The mom's last time seeing her was on a FaceTime call, and she said her daughter looked scared, shaking, scared, terrified that her dad was standing right behind her, muted the phone, and was telling her something like, don't tell, don't say anything. And we'll see her say that now. But I first want to play what they're saying with DCFS or DCYF. We all have different names for it. Ours is DCFS. Before we go any further, let's see why this could have possibly happened. So let me first drop the link. I said I was going to do it last time. I don't think I did. There we go. So yeah. Let's share the screen once again. I'm not going to be here that long. Just putting a little bit of information out there really quickly, and that'll be it for today. I wasn't planning on coming on today, but since I told you guys I was going to let you guys hear what the mom said, I decided to gather some more information that's current to keep you guys up to speed with everything. So there we go. All right, here we go.
Well, Tom, the executive council says it has a lot of questions about how a little girl could go missing for 2 years without anyone ever noticing. Today, Health and Human Services Commissioner Lori Chibanette, DCYF Director Joe Ribsum, and Attorney General John Formella tried to provide answers, although they were extremely limited on information. Federal and state laws prohibit DCYF from discussing specific cases, a cause of frustration for Councilor Ted Gatsas, who says the lack of information publicly provided on this case is causing confusion. He highlights another recent case involving Elijah Lewis, a Merrimack boy who was missing for an extended period of time before his body was found in Massachusetts. Now, Gatsas says the state is starting to get a bad reputation from what's happening to its children.
The reality is, right, this is a tragic case, but it's just like the last one. But it's subject to the same confidentiality rules and laws.
It takes less than 2 months ago.
And it's a case that we're still actively investigating. There's multiple angles to this. We have active criminal investigation going on. We're actively looking into this on the DCYF side.
Now, the Attorney General went on to say there will be a time in the future where information and regarding these concerns will be able to be brought up surrounding this case. But again, he says this is all an active investigation. Reporting live in the newsroom, I'm Tim Callery, WMUR News.
See? So I feel like they are trying to make excuses. They are trying to make excuses as to why it's okay for them to just get her lost in the system. No, it's not okay. Miranda says there's no telling the truth. The exact time, there's no telling the truth about the exact time frame she went missing, and that is sad. Yes, very sad. More than sad. It makes no sense. For 2 years, that just doesn't make sense. Yeah, I don't think you finished playing the videos the last time. I'm sorry to interrupt that. No, you're good. I'm going to play the full thing of the mom right now. Yes, we got into a little bit of it, but we were going like way deep into time. So I'm going to play that for you guys right now. Yeah. So here's what the mom says. And this is her full interview. So you guys won't be seeing it in little parts like it is on any of the news shows. This is the full interview. So it's about 12 minutes, I believe, long. So let me pop it up for you guys and let's get started.
Look, it happened for 2 years because I wasn't her voice, or I couldn't be, or nobody could hear me.
Where did you think Harmony was for the last 2 years?
I thought she was with her dad, and he was just being a jerk. Really, that's what I hoped was happening, but in my heart, I knew something was wrong. Something was very wrong. Like, he was going to extremes to block me and make sure that I couldn't contact her or anything, or even to the point, like, once his family started calling DCYF and he knew, he then cut them off, and then I couldn't even get information from them, because at least I could get information about what was going on through them. Couldn't even get anything from them. He literally cut anybody that questioned him about how he treated Harmony or what he was doing. He cut them off.
When was the last time you actually saw Harmony?
In a FaceTime video, like 2-3 days before Easter. I showed her a basket. I said, I'm coming in a couple days. Mommy got you a basket, I held on to that.
For years, the laws in California have protected child molesters and the institution.
Let's get
that basket for a year and some change, hoping, that I'd have a chance to give it to her.
And what did she seem like when you saw her on FaceTime?
Terrified. I would say, hey, what's going on? What'd you eat for lunch? What'd you do today? Are you going to school yet? Like, how are your brothers and sisters? You got any friends? Little questions like, I'm her mom. Like, I want to know these things. I want to know she's happy. And every time I asked these things, he would pause it and he'd tell whatever he'd say to her. I can't hear him. He'd mute it. And she'd be like, don't tell her. Da, 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 don't. And she'd be like, and I'm watching her. So he'd unmute.
Wait, so that wouldn't give you pause to be like, wait, hold on. Where are you guys at? Call the police, do something. He's telling her, don't tell her, don't tell her. And so did she hear this or what? I need to get Layla.
What'd she do with the basket?
Going crazy. What'd you say, Jeanette?
What'd she do with the basket?
Right. I don't know. What did she do with the basket? See, you're making me echo again. Why is it doing that?
I think I know. Hold on.
Yeah, I want to know what she did with the basket, though. Where's this basket you had? And you seen your daughter looking scared, terrified, as you would say. Terrified. And I'm not making her, be the bad guy. I'm not coming at her like that. I'm just saying, from my point of view, if I see my child like that, somebody would have been going over there to see. Let me see if I mute myself and then you talk while I'm muted, if that's what's making it.
Is it gone?
Do that. No, it's still there.
Oh, I thought maybe it was my Siri, so I unplugged her, so it's not that. Yeah,
no. It's not when you're muted, but it does after. Christina says she didn't care. I'm sorry. Right. That was 2019. We are now in 2022. To me, that doesn't show that you care. That does not show that you care. I'm curious to know, when did she finally kick her addiction? Then that will say a little bit more. But if she's saying back then, 2019, that's when she kicked it, and now this long after, no. She wasn't worried about Harmony. And I would be very, very afraid if I knew that he was very abusive. Let's continue.
And I'm like, what's going on? Like, why are you muting it every time I ask her a question? Why aren't you letting her talk to me? Why are you answering for her? Like, you're acting weird, Adam. I'm like, what's going on? Like, we're co-parenting. Like, you're letting me have visits. Like, what's going on? He's like, I have sole custody, sole decision making. You don't get to ask me shit. And he hangs up and blocks me. And that was the last thing I had contact with her and saw her at all.
What made you call the police before Christmas?
It was a couple of weeks. I had called right after he stopped talking to me, but I was talking to my therapist, and I was telling her, like, listen, this is affecting my mental health. I can't sleep. I'm super depressed. Like, my son's well taken care of, but me personally, I was really sad, like something right here all the time, just telling me, like, you got to get her, and I said to my therapist, I said, no one's hearing me. I've made reports. I've talked to—
I'm sorry. If you make a big enough fuss. And I mean, I would be on their line every single day from that point forward, because I would want to know what's going on with my daughter. Why every time I'm asking a question, you're muting it, you're telling her what to say, you're guiding her to say what you want her to say. Yeah, you have full sole custody. And that's why I think, maybe I could be wrong, that DCFS were really going to look into it and do checks all the time, because she was with a biological parent. So I don't know if that is necessarily true. What do you think, Jeanette? Do you think that just because he's a biological parent, that's why DCFS was not?
Well, here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Whether or not she was involved with DCFS,
mm-hmm.
she just said she was seeing a therapist, and she was telling the therapist these things. Therapists can't say everything, but if there's like a child abuse issue, they are mandated reporters
to say it. Yep.
So did she tell this therapist?
That's what she's saying. I don't know. And I recently, had my son start talking to like someone, because, he's been acting crazy in school, and talking to her, she said, yeah, like if anything is going on, they are, they have to say something. So I kind of ask her questions, because I've been trying to like find out a little bit of information, like, because it kind of coincides with the things I see a lot with DCFS as well. She's not from DCFS or anything, but she still kind of knows the system. And so, yeah, I believe if she said, I don't think she said, I think that my daughter is being abused. If she did say that and her therapist did not say anything, then that's a problem there as well.
Mm-hmm.
She may have just been saying, it's getting to me, I really want to see my daughter. Right. But if she had any concern saying that the child was being abused, or that's what she thought, and the therapist didn't do anything, that's another person we have in the line of all the other people that have failed this little girl.
Right.
So I don't know if I believe she said those exact words.
So does he say he gave her to her?
Does he say what?
Are they each saying that they get that the other one had her?
Exactly. So he's saying that this was in 2019. This is what the wife Kayla's also saying, that he told her one day he was going to take Harmony back to Crystal, and she says that's the last day she's seen her. And then she's saying he never brought her to me.
Well, where's the Easter basket? Maybe she did take that Easter basket and pick her up. It could be.
It could be that she did. We really don't know. This can go either way. But when you see Adam's record, he's not all the way there. So let's continue.
Because she's kind of closing her eyes when she's talking, like she doesn't want to be seen. I don't know. Or I'm reading into it.
Okay, let me check that out. Okay. Good observation. Let's see.
To desk people at DCF office, because I didn't have a certain extension, because Demetrius wasn't on the case anymore, which was the person that was supposed to remove her that didn't. He knew Adam personally. He was Adam's DYS counselor. So he was a conflict of interest.
So this is another reason why it's kind of messed up. Another person here has dropped the ball. We need to do a live and count how many balls have been dropped, because this just doesn't make sense. All these people just missing. This reminds me of another case where this child was constantly this is Dakota, going to school. They seen the abuse. They seen the lack of care. And nobody cared until he was no longer alive. This is... Anyway.
Interest from the beginning. So the 3 times they were supposed to remove her, they didn't, because he knew him personally. And then I got word when Mauricio had reached out to me and said, I was told you had made past reports, and then they started asking me questions about Harmony, and I said I still haven't seen or heard from her, nothing. And Didn't hear anything. The guy was I have all the text messages from the guy basically doing nothing. So I reached out to the mayor and I said, listen, if you guys don't help me find my daughter, because DCYF and DCF and Mass dropped the ball on this one, let her slip through the cracks. I said, I'm going straight to the media. I don't care. It was like hours later, I got a phone call from the police in Manchester. And I had already called the Manchester police. They told me I couldn't file a missing persons report because he had physical custody of her. So they said, like, they told me go to court and file a petition to get custody. So I go there and they tell me if it's a DCYF open case, then I can't go there and go to court. So they were running, like, sent me around for busy work, you know what I mean, while they were trying to figure out how to cover their butt. And it was just, when they knew I couldn't do anything at the courthouse, but they still sent me over there, you know what I mean? And then, you know, the cops called me and they're like, we're completely involved now. DCYF told me this is really suspicious, blah, blah, blah. And then it came on the news.
Have you ever seen Adam be violent?
Yeah, when I was in a relationship with him, he used to choke me. I was pregnant with her, he'd choke me. Like all kinds of stuff. If you did more than him, he'd choke you. If you were texting and he didn't want you to, or somebody he didn't like, he would do whatever to you, scream at you, get in your face, whatever. He uses his intimidation and manipulation to get what he wants. Always has.
Have you ever seen him?
So she's saying this now, but was she saying this before? Yeah, Jeanette, what you saying?
She said he likes to choke.
She did say that. He's very abusive. He seems very, very controlling. And I think that's the problem that him and Kayla was having as well.
Okay, but she said he likes to choke. Who stood up and went to court and said, hey, don't remove this child from a stable home because the daddy likes to choke? She should have said that on record somewhere in the courts whenever that fight was going on.
Right. Kayla's like everywhere. She should have said that. Not only that, she should have said, yo, he just got out of prison for almost killing somebody.
And he's a choker.
Yeah, Jeanette. Yes, and he chokes people. He likes to choke. He wants everything his way. As soon as it's not, it's a problem. All of that. Like, why not tell them all of this? I think they probably would have stepped up more. And do we know if she really said any of this? We don't know, but I don't think she did. This is too many people. Right now, I have the police that visited the house. We got DCYF. We got the therapist. We got now Demetrius. And now the mayor. And so she pressed the issue to take it to the media. That just makes no sense. And we got more people than that. I still need to go back and cut up. So let's continue. I don't think she said he is very abusive, but she shouldn't even have to say that. He has murder charges. Robbery, armed robbery at that. Man.
And be violent towards Harmony.
Lemonade Renters Insurance covers your NASA t-shirt, lightweight jumpsuit, celestial telescope, zero.
Towards her, not me seeing this, but we had a play therapist that she had while he was getting visits when I had custody of her. And even my play therapist had made a report before he got custody, mind you. I still had custody of her at this.
Oh, what's a play therapist? Did she say play therapist? Hold on.
Yeah, and so that usually means like they have therapy that does like drawing or play therapy, and
like they'll give them like toys and dolls and things where you can like have them.
Well, kids, they use that with kids typically who have been abused in the past.
A play therapist. Okay, that's what I'm thinking. Okay, good. Let me hear her again.
Had made a report before he got custody, mind you. I still had custody of her at this point. The play therapist made a report of abuse saying there was definite abuse going on in the house during visits. And when she told me that, I completely never let him have visits with her again, you know, because Nan was supervising them, and there was like once or twice where she had doc's appointments and stuff, so she wasn't there the whole time. And he's short-tempered, so he, as soon as he gets a second or loses his temper, he's gonna hit her, And my daughter is she's just like me, she talks a lot and she's excited and she's smart. She kind of even thinks she might even know a little bit more than you, even though she doesn't. But that's
okay. She said at this time she still had custody. So if she knew her daughter was being abused at this time, she still has custody. The play therapist says she's definitely being abused. Where does it go from there? Because she got her taken away because she was doing drugs. And I don't even know if I want to say it's allegedly because she's saying it here right now. Said she was doing drugs. So why didn't this therapist report it? Or did she and they did not listen again? So a lot of this is falling right on the system that we have that is supposed to protect our kids.
The system's in a hard place because people have their civil rights, which CPS violates all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And then whenever they see blatant child abuse, they're not doing anything.
Nothing.
But when they're seeing something that's questionable, they're pulling kids out of homes.
Exactly. And I've seen that firsthand. You're over here questioning this person about this, that, and the other. The kid is well taken care of. The kid has everything they want. They want for nothing. They're well fed. And because somebody says something a little slick, they're ready to pull that kid out.
Mm-hmm.
When you see a kid with a black eye, clothes dirty, smelling like urine, marks all over their body, broken bones, things like that, your child is gone. Okay? With the boys, the boy wasn't even in the mom's care. I'm talking about the Orrin and Orson.
Right.
Wasn't even in the mom's care. Broke one of the strongest bones in your body while at daycare, allegedly. And then they take him from the mom. Right. She's like, I didn't even know he was crying and I took him to the hospital. That makes people afraid to take their child to the hospital. They think, oh, well, I'm just going to get my child taken. And more than likely, they're right.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't in these situations. So they need to start looking into these things a lot more than they are doing and stop scaring parents that are taking care of their children and really go after those where you guys see it's happening.
Right.
I don't understand it. Let's just I gotta run in the kitchen too.
It's just her.
Was he
she's
on
just
parole?
beautiful like that. But
What'd you say?
Was he on parole?
I'm more than sure that he was. I would have to go back and look at the rest report because I know he.
If he was on either of those, then there was somebody coming into the house every month. There had to be.
True. Because I'm sure he did not get off from that type of charge. Only doing 18 months, shooting someone in the face.
Mm-hmm.
I'm lucky to be surviving that. I'm gonna pull that up as well. Let me go ahead and play this.
I just don't ever see someone getting so angry to where they bash her around the house, as he said. I just don't understand. If that was the case and that's what you planned on doing with her, why go for custody?
Right.
Spite me. Just spite me. That's all it was. It was never for love for Harmony.
Did he ever speak negatively of Harmony?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He'd say, when I talked to him, I'm like, so what was going on at the visits? I questioned him about what the therapist had said. hence telling him no more visits because he was blowing up my phone. He was supposed to pick her up, and I didn't answer. Then he showed up to the sober house in Roxbury making a scene, and the director was like, "We'll call the cops on you," you know? And I told him, "This is why you're doing extreme punishments to her. She all kinds of stuff like that. The therapist had gotten out of her just by playing dolls in a dollhouse. Imagine." I was horrified. I was like, "No." I told DCF, and that was that. Like
she was horrified, but did what? I don't care. Look, okay, look. I mean, look. Hold on. No, I just can't right now, because if I knew my daughter was being abused, sexual, physical, whatever it was, I am not leaving this appointment and letting my daughter ever go back with him. I don't care what the police says. She's going with him. Okay, I'm gonna be right there at the house. I'm pulling up. I'm stalking her. I'm gonna be right there at that house. Because I mean, sometimes you really can't do anything because they will just really come and take the child from you. But I'm saying that would have been a fight all in itself. The only thing that will keep me away from my child after that has been said is jail. They would have to lock me up.
Right.
Period. Because I'm there. I'm following the car that's taking her and everything.
I don't get the whole thing. I don't get how you don't know how your child is, where your child's laying their head.
I don't either.
How you're not talking to them. I've had foster kids, and I know that at least one of them, even though her mom did do was on drugs sometimes, she would check every night.
That's a mom. That's a mother. I don't want to say what drug would just make you not care for your kids, but I see it happening all the time. And I guess I just can't wrap my mind around it because how overprotective of my son I am. No one can just be like, "Hey, can I come pick your kid up? We're going to go here." No, I'm going with you, or he's not going. He's not going. Now he can talk. He can tell you anything. I mean, he be having some deep conversations with me sometimes. But yeah, he'll tell me too. But I don't want to make it be that. Because he's kind of, me and him have a relationship to where he knows that he could tell me anything. He'll be like, "Mom, this happened," or "Don't be mad, but let me tell you this." He's comfortable with telling me because I'm like, "Tell me everything. Nothing's a secret." I don't have to worry about that. If something went wrong, he's going to say, "Mom, look, this person did this." Because he knows I'm going to react.
So you guys were talking last night. She wasn't special needs, or she was?
I don't know if she was special needs. Special needs, okay, yes. Because she was blind in her right eye. I'm doing the wrong side, but you know what I mean. Blind in her right eye. I don't think she had any issues communicating. I didn't see that. Only that she was blind in her right eye. That's it. Nothing else.
She didn't have any sort of developmental delays. It was just blindness.
Not that I seen.
Okay.
Not that I seen at all. And I still think that it's crazy that he put her in charge of an infant. The infant cries. Infant cry. Layla. I'm like, I can see it on here and it looks like it's on the opposite side. So I'm like, what's happening? But yeah, infants cry. She's so scared. She's like, shh. He comes out and then bashes her around the house. And even, I'm not even going to bring him up into it. Uncle Kevin, I feel your pain. I'm just saying, I would have been like, no, my niece is coming with me. Sorry. My niece is coming with me. Take a little bit of time to, cool off. And then we'll see where we go from there. But no, I'm sorry.
Did I see Queen's Throne in the chat?
Yeah, Queen is in here. Well, she was in here. She says she's listening.
Oh, I was like, is she coming up? I want to hear what she has to say, sort of.
I don't know if she would even say anything about something like this because she deals a lot with other types of things. Yeah, Throne says she was in here listening a bit earlier. But if she wanted to, for sure, look. So if she wanted to, for sure, she could.
She's listening.
Click on it. She has a lot of experience with that as well. You guys, Queen's Throne, she's pretty cool. I would check her channel out. Let's go.
Later, they hand over custody.
How is it possible she got to stay with him after all of that?
I don't understand. I still don't understand to this day. I had a court date on the same day of that hearing for Jameson's adoption. So I sent over to get a continuance from the courthouse saying, hey, we need a different court date. I can't cut myself in half. They denied my continuance and just handed him over custody because they wanted to wash their hands of the case. You know, they were done with it. It was the lady said it was open 4 years too long.
So I know. Oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I was trying to get out the wind.
No,
it was like, whew. I don't know where he is. He needs to just come give me my coat.
I know. I mean, these are tough questions to ask a mom, but I mean, do you think Harmony's alive?
I still believe she's here. I think he has her with either like his mother that no one knows really anything about because she never raised him, you know, but I think he would call his mom or hit her up on Facebook and say, I'm in real bad trouble. I need you to take her. You're the only one that no one knows. You know what I mean? I feel like she's still here. I would know, man. Like I said before, a mother knows. You know when your baby's not here anymore. You know, you feel it the day it happens, you know, and yeah, I've woken up with panic attacks and woke up calling family members freaking out because like I just have a terrible feeling all the time. But it's not a feeling of that she's not here anymore, you know?
With his violent past and addiction, I mean, do you think he could have?
I feel like he sold her. I think he sold her because the same week that they're saying this happened, the day after Thanksgiving to December 6th, was the week after my son legally got adopted on the news. You know what I mean? And he knew what my son looked like. He, you know, that's my daughter's brother, you know? So he saw that, and I really think it's connected. I think, like, he got that idea from seeing that and was like, oh, I can do it illegally, you know? Because not for nothing, right around the same time, you know, human trafficking was at an all-time high. So was Oregon harvesting, which I don't even want to go there, you know, but.
What do you think about what she's saying about this part? What do you think about where she thinks the child is? She's going to say another scenario as well. She says a couple of different scenarios. But about him selling the child for drugs. And we heard this in the Summer case as well, that's possibly what happened with Summer. And, what do you think about that? Do you think he sold the child? And that's why she keeps saying, I feel that she's alive. I know that she's alive.
They have such a hard time adopting out children that when people keep talking about selling 3 and 4 year olds, it makes me like wonder every time, because like I would think maybe that's possible if it were an infant to happen. But you know,
but I do find it strange though, Jeanette. I do find it strange that with the boys, their age, 3, 4-ish age range. Her 4-ish, 5-ish age range. Summer, same thing, age range. All these kids are like in a certain age range that are going missing.
And like, look, she's got a medical issue that's going to need medical attention. So if she was a child that was sold, like nobody's seen her. Nobody. Like she would be going to the eye doctor. There would be she has some medical needs where she should have been seen.
Right.
So I don't really see that as, I don't know.
But do you think Adam would even take her if he knows that he's abusing her like that? Would he even take her to these visits? Because it doesn't seem that he had her that long.
Right.
I believe his other kids weren't
the way
being
she, the way she's talking, the way she's talking, and she might have told on herself because she said her other child's adoption was on the news and that's where he got the idea. Maybe she did pick him.
Wait, she said on the news?
Yeah.
Wait, hold on.
Rewind that. She might have told on herself. Maybe she could have potentially sold her own child.
No, look. Wait, hold on. Let's see.
And I really think it's connected. I think like he got that idea from seeing that. They're saying this happened the day after Thanksgiving to December 6th was the week after my son legally got adopted on the news. You know what I mean? And he knew what my son looked like. He, you know, that's my daughter's brother, you know. So
see, but no, Jeanette, because her son is with
right. But he legally got adopted on the news, right? She's okay with adopting out a child. So is it possible that she said, you know, I'll adopt this one out, but I'll get money for it this time?
No, I don't think she had a choice because they were already coming to take them because of her drug addiction.
Right. So maybe not having a choice, if she thought she could get money for it this time and adopt out the child, maybe she did that. I think she would be telling on herself if that were the scenario.
Right. Let's continue to listen. Let's see.
And I really think it's connected. I think like he got that idea from seeing that and was like, oh, I can do it illegally, you know? Because not for nothing, right around the same time, you know, human trafficking was at an all-time high. So was organ harvesting, which I don't even want to go there, you know? But at least if you sold it to a family that legally can adopt or something, you know, there's still hope that she's at least safe somewhere, you know?
Do you feel any guilt?
Oh, yeah, every day. Every day. I played a part in this. I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm innocent. Like, I'm a recovering addict. Like, when I gave birth to her, I didn't know nothing about being a parent. I didn't know nothing about getting in recovery, but I never stopped trying. I always went into program after program after program, trying to, you know, prove to her and my family that I wasn't going to stop until I got better, you know. And I just, you know, especially when I kept reaching out to Adam, kept reaching out. Like, I even was like, I even wanted to show him, like, look how far I've come, you know? Yeah, there's a lot of shame and guilt, you know, that come with this. But it's not gonna set me back. It's gonna motivate me to keep fighting for her and keep looking for her. Because if I can't speak for her, who else is going to? You know?
She should have been thinking that in the beginning. She should have been her voice when she knew that Harmony was being abused. When the play therapist said she was for sure being abused. She should have said that then. Oh, Christina, thank you. Thanks. Yeah, over there is crazy on the other channel. Thank you. If you guys are not subscribed to my other channel, please subscribe to Naomi China D ×2. And it's times just as an X and then a number 2 after China D, but it's all together. There's no space. If you guys have not done this already, I'm sorry, guys. I get really into cases and I forget to say, hit that like, that subscribe button, and that notification bell. So if you guys could go ahead and do that for me, that'll be great. But yeah, so I just want to finish and then we'll talk about it because I have one more thing to bring up because I want you guys to listen to this. It's on Court TV. I'm not panning the whole thing from Court TV. It's just a section I want you guys to hear. So this is about to end and then we'll go there. Let's see what Shay has to say. Shay says, at least she can admit she's a part of the problem. Yes, I do give that to her. Because a lot of people nowadays cannot admit anything. They just got too much pride and can't admit, oh, you know what? I could have been a part of the problem. Just saying.
Well, I'm noticing that she has like a flat affect. Like she's pretty. she has a flat affect. She's pretty, how do I explain
Like
it?
she's there, but she's kind of zoned out to me.
She doesn't have,
in this case, I would be crying.
She doesn't have the emotions. We're not seeing the emotions raising and lowering where it should. Like her voice as she's telling it, it's just very straight baseline.
Monotone.
Yeah, so that could be because of depression. And it also could be because of autism or anything like, or depression, but she's not showing emotion like you would think whenever she's telling the story.
Right, at all.
So, like, does that mean that she knows what happened?
I don't know.
I kind of felt like she might have. If she adopted out another child and she's saying that's a potential to adopt the child to somebody who couldn't do it in the system.
No. Hold on. Before you say that, let's finish this up, and I want you to hear. I'm going to let you listen to what the adoptive parents say. Before hold on. Let's see.
Look, it happened for 2 years because I wasn't her voice, or I couldn't be, or nobody could hear me. You know, I just want people to hear me and come forward and tell us something, because somebody knows something. It's a fact. Like, someone knows something, and either they're too afraid to get in trouble or whatever, but someone knows something.
And just my last question: the search happening in the house now.
They're just scouring for any type of anything.
Do you think there's something at that house?
No.
Nah, I don't think so.
I don't have a feeling like there's. I get these crazy intuitions. I always have, and I don't have any type of intuition about that house. I feel like they're wasting time, to be honest.
Me too.
But that's just my opinion.
But I don't feel like she would be there.
And I'm also hoping as well, you know, that there's nothing. So.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I appreciate it, Chris. I know it's
all right, so that is that. So I did play it off for you guys. I know I chopped it up, but I'm not gonna, like I said, you guys can go catch the full Court TV version of what I will be playing next, but I want you to see what the adoptive parents were saying, because in the beginning I was saying the only reason why she started to even look for Harmony is because these adoptive parents said, look, Jameson is really feeling it about being separated from his sister. You know, we go to parks and he's like, he finds people that he thinks looks like her, and you've seen him. He was singing happy birthday to her. He misses his sister. So they pushed it to go search for her. Why did they have to push that, though? So watch. She's going to say it. I already have it at the part where I want it to start. I love Court TV. So you guys can go ahead and watch the whole thing over there. But I'm starting it at where I want you guys to start listening from and hear what either Brian or Blair, because they keep saying two different names. I don't know why, but Mr. Miller is saying about this. So here we go. Play.
They're just starting? How does that happen? Let's bring in our guest tonight. Joining us in Jacksonville, Alabama, professor of forensics at Jacksonville State University, forensic media analyst, and former senior investigator for the Fulton County Medical Examiner's Office, Joseph Scott Morgan, is with us. In Salt Lake City, Utah, private investigator Jason Jensen. And also joining us tonight from Arlington, Virginia, is the adoptive father of Harmony's brother, Blair.
Blair, there we go.
Blair Miller is with us. It's the only part of the show I read, and I messed it up. I'm so sorry, Blair. Blair Miller, great to have you with us tonight. Let me ask you, Blair, for the folks at home, and explain to us your connection to Harmony so we can get a little bit more of the story and understanding of what we're dealing with here.
So our son, Jameson, who is now 5 years old, my husband and I, we adopted him back in October of 2019 when we lived up in Boston. And Jameson is the biological sibling of Harmony. Those two have a close relationship. They always have. Jameson was in and out of foster homes. Harmony was there for some of those times, some of those stays in different foster homes. And Harmony was, when we found out about Jameson, we're matched with Jameson. We instantly heard about Harmony's story and heard about the connection with Jameson. And Harmony, we were told by social services in Massachusetts that Harmony had been reunited with her biological father in February of 2019. So the focus was now on Jameson, and we adopted him. He still very much asks about his sister and wants to keep that relationship going. We have been trying to keep that relationship going as well.
Okay, y'all, I think that is so heartbreaking. It like that kind of makes me, I think that that's very, very heartbreaking that this little boy is looking for his sister all the time. And I believe that Blair would have also adopted her as well. Blair and Blair's husband. I do feel that. And this man is very successful. You guys can follow him on Twitter.
Right.
Very successful. He would have been an amazing father, an amazing couple to bring Harmony up, then to put her where she was. They went through 9 different homes within 2 years. That's crazy. Think about how much time they had in each home. I'll just continue. This is just
when this hit the headlines and everyone started talking about this case, what was your reaction? What went through your mind?
I think we were surprised it reached this point. We've had an open relationship and still do with Jameson and Harmony's mother. And that's been important we have 3 adopted boys, and that's always been important for all the relationships we have with our children, that they have a good relationship with their families. They're part of our family. We're one big family. And so when Crystal called us on Friday to tell us where this stood, this is something she had been talking to us about a long time, and we've been encouraging her to go to police, go to anyone who would listen up in New Hampshire if she had concerns about where Harmony was. There were some custody issues there between the father and Crystal, and so we encouraged her and tried to support that as much as we could, because again, we wanted to have a relationship with Harmony as well for our son's sake, because he values her so much and cares so much about her. So of course we were surprised to hear where it stood, because we were hoping it was just a case of someone not wanting someone to be part of the conversation. We've reached out to the father before through social media, never gotten a response. And obviously it's heartbreaking. All of our hearts are breaking right now, and our focus right now is finding Harmony and getting her home safely, for her sake, obviously, but obviously from our standpoint, from our son's sake.
And as you mentioned, Crystal, and I was reading through the affidavit because she spoke to investigators and kind of gave the story, and it seems like it all involves, at least from his perspective, he's making allegations that there was some sort of exchange in Thanksgiving of 2019, which would have been right around the time, I guess, that you were adopting Jameson.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, and knowing Crystal, she's wanted nothing more to have a relationship with her kids, and that's always been very important to her. And I know if Harmony were ever in her arms, we would be FaceTiming with her instantly, because she would want to show us, and that has been important, just as important to her as it is to us.
And she would want to, she'd be FaceTiming with you, and she'd want Jameson in on it and to see his sister.
Sure.
Let me ask you this, and you don't have to answer it because it could be very personal and private, so feel free not to answer any of these questions. But how is Jameson doing, and how difficult? It's difficult enough to be a parent and to be an adoptive parent, but now you've got to deal with this as well.
Well, we have 3 very busy boys, 9, 8, and Jameson 5. And so our house stays pretty busy and constant. This week, we've all been in turmoil as we've kind of been trying to figure out how best we can help, talk with police, talk with U.S. Marshals, and talk with our families about what's going on. We have not talked to Jameson about this. And that's because, frankly, how do you have that conversation with a 5-year-old? And how do you have a conversation with one who still yearns to have a relationship with his sister, talks about her? When we go to parks, he feels like he sees her sometimes. He talks to his teacher about his sister. And, you know, when adults can't even figure this out right now, because there are a lot of questions, how do you expect a 5-year-old to figure it out?
So here is Blair on the left. Then you have Crystal. We have little Jameson. And then I believe his name is Jonathan. So this is the little family. And I mean, love this whole family because they still allow her to be there. They're not trying to cut the mother out. Like, oh no, you have no. They're letting her still be around. And if Harmony's alive, oh gosh, she's still messing up. If Harmony is alive, I would hope that they would let her reunite with her brother. And if they would like her also go there, I think she would have a wonderful, happy life with this family. So that's them. I just wanted to show you guys that.
It's unconscionable what is happening here. Joseph Scott Morgan, your thoughts today. I just want your initial impressions on where we are in all this, because this is unusual, because it's 2 years later where the real investigation now is starting.
Yeah, between a rock and a hard place relative to the chronological time. You know, anytime you have this kind of whittling away of time as you move down that linear timeline, you're losing precious bits of evidence, you know, clues that'll put you in particular directions where you want to, you know, sift through everything that is available, everything from digital data to any kind of physical forensics that might give you a clue as to where she might be. And so the initial first blush, that's where I stand right now.
Jason Jensen, this is not a cold case, but it's 2 years old as it begins. It's extremely unusual. I don't know if I've ever covered a story or a case like this. Your thoughts about where you even start?
Well, yeah, just like you said, it's actually not a cold case technically, because you got a lot of activity from law enforcement, but it started as a cold case, to be honest, de facto cold, because in missing children cases, they always say, the first 48 hours is the most critical. Right. We're talking not 2 days, we're talking 2 years.
Blair, let me ask you about Crystal. How is she holding up through this? Because she's been through a lot. And I've read some of the statements that she's made and trying to, put her life back together. And this has just got to be devastating.
Sure. And I don't want to speak on her behalf and want her to kind of,
absolutely,
get into this as she wants. We talk to her, daily. We've talked to her several times today, yesterday. Her heartbreak is just getting worse. She's been through a lot before all this even happened.
My thing is though, even like he's saying, she's been doing this before this, but why only 2 weeks ago is it this big from 2019? Why 2022? I mean, was it her New Year's resolution to say, hey, my New Year's resolution is to find my daughter? Because other than that, I just really don't understand how from that point when you seen your daughter afraid to speak, and she showed what she's seen. She was shaking. Why would you not go and try to find exactly where Adam is? Because you know his demeanor, you know his behavior, you know what makes him tick. You just leave her there still? I'm sorry. It don't make sense to me.
I just go back to, she showed her an Easter basket. Like, usually you don't show your kids something, promise them something, and then never show up to give it to them.
Right. So did she, okay, look, because she said she was having visitation between Adam and her. So did she not ever know where he was living? How did that whole thing go down? How did they do the visitation? How did they do a swap if they did a swap? Or was there people there to do it for them. Either way, someone had to know where he was for her to even say she was going to deliver a basket. Because how can you deliver a basket if you don't even know where your child is? What I don't know. Don't know. What were you saying, Jeanette?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That's
yeah.
I don't know if a lot of people don't. I don't know if they have the addresses. I don't think they do. If there's some
But if she said she had visitation, you don't think she knew where Harmony was then? Or how would it go? Like he drive halfway, she drives halfway, and then they meet there? Or like what? How does it?
Well, it happens like that where people exchange at police stations or visitation centers. That does happen.
But doesn't the worker know at least where the child is?
Is there always a worker though?
I believe so. There's always a worker when you have a DCFS case.
Well, did they have one on her? Was there a current one? Was
But
that
my-
even? That's what I don't know if I don't even know if there was a DCF case opened. Because
the only reason why I'm agreeing with you on that is because I don't know if when you do have a case like this, since now they're reunited with the biological family, would DCFS still follow it? Being that, they're with their bio parent, or would they still be involved? That's the only part I don't know. So if anybody knows that, let me know in the comments, DM, Instagram. Everything is Naomi China G, wherever platform you go to. So let me know that, like, if a child is in the system and their biological parent gets them back, is DCFS still there? Are they still checking up? How does that go? I don't know.
I think they would close the case. I would think that.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why I could think that they were not showing up. Hi, Deeds. How are you? So, yeah, let's continue. I just don't even know. So, I did put the link in the chat, didn't I? Yes, I did put the link in the chat. If you know any information or just even want to speak on the case, period, just pop up. Content creator or not, it doesn't matter. You can still pop up. All right, let me continue this.
By losing two of her children in custody of her children. And so she has been through a lot. And I think it's really hard to describe how she's feeling, because even talking with her, texting with her, it's even hard for us to imagine how she's feeling.
And Joseph Scott Morgan, the reading through the affidavit, and one part really struck me is this quote from Harmony's father. I have nothing to say.
Yeah.
Your daughter is missing. People are looking for your daughter, and you have nothing to say.
Say that. Yes. Nothing.
I think an absence of comment speaks volumes.
Okay.
Relative to this. I got to tell you.
What, Jeanette? What do you feel now?
100% him.
Exactly. Who says I have nothing to say?
Right.
That's why I'm like, hold on. Let me play this so you can see it. Go ahead.
100% him. Or his girlfriend.
That's what I was thinking.
He knows.
He knows, but she's saying the same BS story. So to me, they came up with this story. She's saying, I don't know anything from the day he said he was going to take her to the mom. No, I think that since Harmony was not her actual biological daughter, she just had the daughter. See, that's what I don't know. I don't know if I feel like Harmony was gone before she gave birth to her daughter or after. Either way, I feel like he had a kid in the house that was not by her, and she could have gotten jealous by it.
If he gave her to the mom, he'd be insistent on that, even when asked 100 times.
Yep. He'll be like, I gave her to Crystal. I drove down and I gave her to Crystal.
But to say, I have nothing to say.
Yes.
Why are you saying, I have questions for the mom? I gave her to her. Where is she?
Exactly.
Yeah, no.
And no one can say, oh, he just doesn't want to speak because, he knows the law. No. If you didn't do something, you would just say, hey, I took Harmony to Crystal. Crystal, where's Harmony? You know I brought her to you. Where is she? Right. It would be more like that. It wouldn't be, I have nothing to say. This is...
I think there's a real desire to begin to peel away the layers here. My first stop along this continuum is going to be...
Like I said, guys, if you guys want to see this from Court TV from the beginning, you will have to go to their website and also type in, Harmony's name to see the whole thing, because I really only wanted to watch the interaction with the bio father and, get the others on the panel's view on what they think is going on in this case. So I'm going to continue.
Family Children's Services. They are the ones that throughout this entire process have allegedly had their finger on the pulse of this family. I want to know what they know, when they knew it, when they last interacted with this family. I want to see every evaluation. I want to talk to caseworkers. Now, you've got two children that have been split up, if you will. And if I'm not mistaken, I think Jameson his case was essentially processed through Massachusetts. And you've got Harmony that's domiciled in New Hampshire. And at some point in time, someone has had to have talked. And there should be reams and reams and reams of data on both of these children out there. And I would imagine at this point in time that the police officer that we saw giving the statement earlier, his team is on this along with the marshals, because right now, any scrap of data can give you some kind of information as to where she might be as it applies to the activities of the father, particularly since they've hooked him up on charges now, Ben. And of course, they haven't charged him with, the ultimate charge here that, that might be on the table eventually, but they do have him in custody. That gives me an indication they have something.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're going to continue to talk about this story. Blair, can you stay?
Sure.
Okay, Blair's going to stay with us. Joseph Scott Morgan, Jason Jensen. We're going to talk more about this and listen to what the police chief up in Manchester has to say. Don't go anywhere.
All right, so that's pretty much what I wanted you guys to see. I could see if there's any more on here that I would be even trying to look at. But I'm going to bring up a map so that you guys can see. And if you guys want to see that whole thing, like I said, it's on Court TV. I'm going to bring this map up real quick, just to give the ones that are not from the States or the ones that, is this it? Yes, this is what I want to show you. So looking on this map, we have Massachusetts right here, okay? Let me make it bigger. Can I make it bigger? There we go. Oop, oop. Right here. So we have Massachusetts. Stop. Massachusetts right here in the brown, and we have New Hampshire right on top of that. Very, very, very small states. Not too far to get to. I can't imagine, because if I look at my state and I look at the distance I drive back and forth from one to another state, it's quite a distance. There's no reason why she should just be MIA from mom. And do I know if she had a car? No, I don't. But I know if I'm looking for my child, someone in my family at least would help me find my child, period. There would be nothing that can separate me from my child. So I just find that just to be absurd, or anybody to even believe that.
News Nation obtaining.
Hold up, let me show y'all this too. Let me just show you guys this as well, if you guys didn't catch yesterday's. Sorry, let me mute this so I'm able to bring up the correct mark, and then I will bring it up. Hold on quick second. Okay, so while I'm doing this as well, you guys will be able to see Blair's Twitter page. So you guys can also follow this case on his page. He's been putting up updates and things like that as well. So this is just disgusting. Just take a look.
News Nation obtaining these photos from inside the last known house missing 7-year-old Harmony Montgomery lived in. They show the bedrooms, kitchen, and inside the refrigerator. And you can see extension cords running throughout the house, hooked up to a generator outside because neighbors say the power was cut off. This is the house where police say Harmony's dad, Adam Montgomery, abused the little girl, even causing a black eye.
You're doing extreme punishments to her. She all kinds of stuff like that. The therapist had gotten out of her just by playing dolls in a dollhouse. Imagine. I was horrified. I was like, no. I told DCF, and that was that. Like months later, they hand over custody.
How is it possible she got to stay with him after all of that?
I don't understand. I still don't understand to this day.
Harmony's mom says she warned New Hampshire's Division of Children, Youth, and Families about the abuse, but was ignored. They also haven't responded to our emails or calls since last week. So we showed up to their offices today.
Hi, my name's Brian Hudson. I'm a reporter with News Nation. We've been trying to get in touch with the department, the director, about that. He is filming, yes.
Okay, turn around because I know this side of it's not public. And I will call somebody for you.
We waited and a representative from the communications office arrived.
That part was weird to me, like how she did that. But still watch what the representative is going to say.
Hey, how are you doing? I'm Brian. I'm from News Nation.
Yeah, you called me like an hour ago.
Yeah.
That's cool. You tell me you're on your way.
Well, we've been emailing calling since last week. Is there concern here about the fact that she was missing for 2 years and no one?
I really am not able to get into that because it's a bit of confidentiality.
The department later sent us a statement saying the department is continually reviewing its processes to ensure the best possible outcomes for children and families. The Division for Children, Youth, and Families has conducted a preliminary internal review on this case, and as is the case whenever a critical incident involving a child occurs, a comprehensive quality assurance review is completed. The statement went on to say their primary focus is locating Harmony. Crystal's mom hopes that is everyone's focus right now.
Come forward and tell us something, because somebody knows something. It's a fact.
And Harmony's dad remains behind bars on abuse charges. Her stepmother is also locked up on a welfare fraud charge. And we just learned today she will now be facing an additional theft charge and will be back in court on Thursday. Nicole?
So yeah, that's that, y'all. I will be keeping you guys updated about what's going on. Jeanette, what do you feel about any of this? Why are these people doing this in the chat? Jeanette, do you have anything to say?
I guess criminals are idiots.
Huh?
Criminals are idiots. Like, why would she continue to collect that if she knew the baby was gone?
Right. Right. I don't know. I really don't feel like Crystal had anything to do with it. Do I think that she was not a stand-up mom? Yes. Was she on drugs at the time of Harmony being taken? Yes, that's why she was taken. And I believe that's why Jameson was taken as well. Now, after she says she's gotten well, and we all know how it is with drug addicts.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, hey, we just seen it. So, do we feel a certain way one way or another? I don't think she had anything to do with it. I do believe this is all Adam, and he's trying to protect Kayla and said, don't say anything, but I sent her back to her mother. So that way she has nothing to say about it.
Right.
How can a child go missing? from a handoff. So who did the dad pass the baby off to? If not the mother. That's not right. If not the mother. So they did get rid of both children, one adopted, one sold. So Adam, before Crystal had Harmony, he went to jail for a murder something charge. The guy didn't die, but he shot him in his chin, went out through his temple. He did armed robbery. He has a lot of stuff on his record. He went for 18 months for that. And when he got out, that's when he filed to get her because she was already in the system at that time. When Jameson got adopted, that family looked into it to see what was going on with Harmony. But since she was already with Bio dad, there was nothing really they can do. Mm-hmm. So that's where that comes in. I don't think she wanted to give them up, but she kind of had to. So yeah, she says one adopted and one sold. I don't know. I'm just like, wow. Ja, do you want to pop up here before I wrap this up? I'm going to be looking more into this case. Oh, Layla is tearing me up. She's biting me. I'm going to be looking more into this case. I just gave you guys the information that was brought up recently, and now the reward is for $112K. It has been growing and growing and growing and growing. So if anyone has any information, no matter what it is, you think it's relevant, not relevant, think you saw her, whatever, anything to do with this case, please go ahead and hit the hotline at 603-6060. I just pray that she's found, and I hope it's alive. Do I feel like that's going to be the case? No, I don't, because I don't believe Adam would be acting the way he's acting. And that's just that. I don't know if I will be coming on tomorrow. If I do, I will put it on Instagram before I do. I know I have a problem with doing both. So my Instagram is in the banner at the bottom. I also want to let you guys know the first 5 people in this live will be getting free raffle tickets into my free raffle. And I will be doing that on the 4th of February, which is my birthday, also Summer's birthday. I will be choosing a winner. The only thing is you have to be following my social media. So you have to be following my second page. So it's Naomi China D ×2. My Twitter, Naomi China D. And what else is there? There's Twitter, TikTok, and my Facebook. So I'm still working on the banner that I'm going to put up for that, or actually the little video clip I'm going to put up for that. I don't know exactly how I want to do it. So just letting that be known. Also, my Cash App is also somewhere right here. It's not open panel because I'm going to hop off in a second, but that is my Cash App. And you can go ahead and get raffle tickets for the $100 winner. Last winner was Veronica. She was in the chat earlier. I don't know if she's in there now. She was the winner of the $100 last time, and I will be doing that one on St. Patrick's Day. And when I do that live, we all got to show up in our green, and you have to be present in the live when I am picking the tickets in order to get your prize. I also will let you guys know before I do that as well, so you're just not like, hey, when do I pop up? So do you have anything else to say, Jeanette? No.
It's just, I hope they find her. That's sad.
Yeah, I think something, I don't know if they planted, but I feel like maybe the stepmom and the dad did. I do feel that. Layla, yeah, no, she has.
You know, like
doing that to me.
It goes back to he was a choker.
Yep.
And somebody knew that.
Yep. I mean, his history, period. It doesn't even have to be that. His history, period. He should have not had that little girl from where she was. Because to me, if they're looking at the bigger picture and they're looking at his life versus the parents that she was with, I don't see how that can even compare. at all.
I mean, it's people have their civil rights, but what about the child's rights?
Exactly. I don't think people even see it that way either. A child should have rights as well. A right to not be abused. A right to not have to bounce around from 6,000 homes. Like, it's sad, but it is our reality. And I'm trying to find a little bit more on Kayla. That's what I've been digging into lately. And so I'll be back on here. As soon as I get more information on this, I might be touching on another topic that I was telling you guys about that I've been looking into as well. The case with the young lady being, given 11 years for having a child that was stillborn. And as horrible as it sounds, yes, she was on drugs, but there's no scientific proof that that is what made her child come out stillborn.
Right.
So,
big talk here. So
yeah, there's a lot to be said, and I want to look more into it before I just go at it. So that will also be a topic. I'll stay on both of them, guys. So until next time, bye, guys. Bye, Jeanette.
Bye.
I'll see you later. Bye, guys.